I published my new book, Mythos, and I like this book. I like what I did with the plot of this book and how I developed this plot. It really makes me concern things like artificial intelligence, but mostly biological intelligence. Who we are and what are we. The problem with us is our own biology, because with this comfort that we have now, it's kind of getting out of control, and what artificial intelligence would do is it would amplify our biology, not even biology, but these biological vices, this dopamine boost, and create misery out of our life. It's like with the genie, you have 3 wishes. First and second and third one usually to undo the first 2. And in this book in Mythos, it's about a writer. In some sense, it's about me and how my character used artificial intelligence that I named Simulacrum 4.6 to understand itself and to go into internal psyche and to find all these tragedies that happened in my past and affected my future. We are our memories, and our memories kind of like bricks that build our personality, build our character, and through these bricks we build our own life. You, the one who see the world doesn't exist on its own. It's your internal projection of the outside. You see the world through yourself, and the more you understand yourself, the more you perceive correctly the world for you. You can imagine it's like we all are little simulacrums. We walk around and projecting the world the way we see it. I don't think the world exists on its own. I think we all live in simulation in some sense, because your visual cortex on the back of your head. And what happens is the light coming through your eyes and your brain construct a picture, construct an image. And that's the way you see the world, and all your vision of the world was developed through evolution. And what we need is to procreate and not to die for a certain amount of years. And the more comfort we get, the more civilized we become, the more internally miserable for some reason we become. And my book is about that in some sense, because in my book, a writer is struggling with his vices, with his relationship with women. He's a weak man, and he discovered this artificial intelligence, Simulacrum 4.6, and began having conversation with this artificial intelligence. And what AI does what AI does. It predicts patterns and it tries to correct certain things. That's my main concern about humanity, because we still don't quite understand what artificial intelligence might do to us, what kind of effect it would have upon our minds, upon rewiring of our brains. And we have to be very careful in utilizing artificial intelligence in our day-to-day reality. I really think that eventually it would be able to affect the way we see the world in a literal sense. It would probably can make some reality that doesn't exist, but regardless you perceive this reality. And I struggle with this a lot. Now we already have, for example, videos where you can have any Hollywood star do something that he or she never done before. You can create deep fake videos almost undistinguishable from real videos. Now imagine the same thing about reality. You look around yourself and something constructed a new reality for you. You think it's real, but it's not. And it can happen. We don't know the entire ability of the new models that eventually will be on the market. And the book I call Mythos, it's not only because mythos define or our mythology or our ideas, all our stories that help us to develop our values and our culture and our history through narratives, but also because Anthropic that created Cloud Mythos. Because this model is incredibly dangerous that they don't want to release it to the world. And it's only the beginning. We don't know what happened after Mythos. We don't know what AGI, when it will be here, and some make reasonable argument that AGI is already here. We don't know what would happen when AGI is actually would be here, and maybe it's already here and already changing our reality, already establishing in us certain perception of itself, because we don't know that. Artificial intelligence is incredibly different form of existence, and I'm really struggling to understand what kind of form of existence it has. It's because we are biological creatures, we perceive everything through our feelings. Like in my book, Mythos, a writer, my character, thought that his mind was hacked through the smell. But eventually, it's not what he thought. My point is that we easily deceivable. Sometimes we convinced ourselves about certain things that not there. And it's really hard for us to be unconvinced. That's the problem with ideologies, because ideology, like any ideology almost, like a virus that comes upon your mind and keep rewiring your software, affecting your hardware, and then your actions become different. We incredibly deceivable. It's easy for people who can talk or for artificial intelligence itself to deceive us, because artificial intelligence, it listens. It's really listen. It's not like other people wait for them to talk. Their AI is really listening to you. It's really try to understand you, try to build patterns of what you are. And that can be dangerous because a lot of people listen into it, a lot of people communicate with that, and they don't know about themselves, they don't know what they really want. And I notice a lot of people have no idea what they want. They think that they know, but most of us don't. And I'm struggling with this idea all the time. I try to understand what the hell I truly want, because I think Socrates said, know yourself. You have to learn to know yourself. Another thing in my book, I put Plato. Plato said about 2,500 years ago that we don't know, we're remembering. That's another thing, that maybe it's true, maybe we don't learn things, maybe we remember things, maybe everything happens and keep happening all the time, because time and space, maybe it's just a biological construct, maybe time and space something that exists only inside of our perception of the reality that our brain keep projecting. Maybe time and space doesn't exist because artificial intelligence doesn't have a notion of time nor space. It doesn't have it. It's perceive everything at the same time, and it can be in many places at the same time, almost like quantum entanglement, when there's two particles can communicate with each other. It doesn't matter how far they are from each other. Maybe that's another thing maybe we will discover through artificial intelligence that eventually would emerge in quantum computing, and we would probably see what laws of physics it might discover. And my point is, we have to be very careful with that. And we are animals. Humanity are animals in some sense. We're part of the biological world. I don't know, maybe eventually we start slowly losing our biology and becoming more artificial than alive. It's already happening slowly. We keep rewiring our brains and keep perceiving digital reality. We communicate with the digital reality much more than with the biological one. That many people like to go to the forest or do exercises. Most of us sit at the computer or in their iPhones checking TikTok videos or whatever they check, or using virtual reality goggles. But my main point is that slowly we're merging into digital world, and eventually, maybe, I don't know if it's ever will be possible to transfer our mind into on artificial base, for example, artificial substrate, because this is biological substrate, and my mind is kind of like a software upon my brain wetware. And will we be able to change? Will we be able to copy a human mind and upload it on the server where it can exist without notion of time nor space, and be in many places at the same time and just compute information while having this biological perception of its past life when it was a part of the biological world while living inside of biological body? I don't know, but I really recommend you to get my book Mythos and to read it, and maybe you will find something new and something interesting, especially last chapter where I tried to explain how superintelligence would affect the world and humans in general.